Hello everyone, today's poem is 赋得古原草送别 by Bai Juyi, the greatest poet in the mid-Tang period, which means he was born after the Civil War. So he never experienced the prosperous and strong of the country, but he also never experienced the bitterness of the Civil War, the life and death. So, in general speaking, 60 to 80% of the population has gone because of the war. And anyhow, the people after the civil wars, they want a recovery, just like today's American, to make Americans strong again. So that's very similar situation. And you can see at youth at the end of his teenagers, in the age of 18 actually, he wrote this poem. This poem was written per a given subject or given title. So in the Tang Dynasty, when you want to go to the imperial exam, you should be recommended by a famous intellectual or high-ranking officials. So Bai Juyi was doing the same things. He want to go to the imperial exam, so he tried to find a person to recommend him. So the person saw his name at the first glance, Bai Juyi. So Juyi means, the hard translation is living with peace and easy livings. He's just make a joke on Bai Juyi. It's really hard to live in the capital city because everything is so expensive, just like today's situation. The people who is going to Beijing to make a living, try to make a living, we gave them a specific term, 北漂, floating in Beijing, which also reflect it's really not an easy thing to live in the expensive capital city, either in today or in the Tang Dynasty. So when he saw the poem, this poem actually, he said, "Wow, you made such a good poem. You can make a living in the capital city. It's not a big deal for you." When a Chinese kid started to learn or read classic poem, this poem was among the short list, among the top 5 poems to be read and recited. So I will just read it in the Qinqiang, the Shanxi dialect. Could be the same dialect or sound as Bai Juyi is writing it. And if you want to find a Mandarin reading, so you can search on the internet. There's so many on the internet. Okay, let's start. 秦腔。赋得古原草送别，裴举一。离离原上草，一岁一枯荣。野火烧不尽，春风吹又生。远芳侵古道，萋萋接荒城。又送王孙去，萋满别情。That's Qinqiang, the Shanxi dialect. This one is very simple. So for the kids, they all started with the simple poems. Anyhow, with different age, with different background, you will have a different feeling of this poem. So today I will share my 赋得古原草送别，赋得. So these two characters clearly indicate this poem was written per a given title or subject. So it's not clear which one it is. Could be the title, could be the grass on the plateau, or could be the farewell. I don't know. For a people grown up in Xi'an, or any person lived or living around Xi'an, we know the Guyuan is something different. Gu, of course, is ancient. Because this area, they started to be the capital city 3,000 years ago from today, and 1,300 years before the poet writing this poem. So it's ancient, of course. Yuan is not the meaning in modern Chinese Mandarins. Normally, the yuan refers to the vast plain area, so you can look through to the faraway place. But in the area, the Shanxi province, or the place around Chang'an or Xi'an today, everybody knows yuan is something different. It's a sort of the high-rise plateau, and it's so flat on the top, and at the edge it's just like the cliff. The cliff could be 20 meters high, could be almost 100 meters high, so it varies a lot. Anyhow, the yuan is very popular around Xi'an city. So could be north, could be to the south, could be to the east, could be to the west. This terrain is very normal around Xi'an city. And also, there's a very, very famous modern Chinese novel, Bai Juyi. So it refers to the same thing. And there's also the movie on Bai Juyi per this novel. You can find out to have a look. This novel describes the whole 20th century, a small village east to Xi'an city, not very far. If you visit to Xi'an and try to find the place, ride a bicycle is good enough. And also, the Chairman Mao Zedong, has mentioned this terrain in his poem, 原池蜡像. So, if you've never been to Shanxi province or Xi'an city, or the suburb of Xi'an, you'll never know it. Mao Zedong actually lived in Shanxi for quite a long time. So how could a plain area just run like a white elephant? So that's the yuan in Shanxi or around Xi'an. That's a plateau. 离离原上草，一岁一枯荣. Very simple words. The kids know it. 离离 is a little bit Asian words, but in the Tang Dynasty, still very popular words. You can see it in many poems. Actually, it was borrowed from the Book of Songs. It refers to the very dense and the all very prosperous grassland. It's all kinds of grasses. So that's the meaning of it. And also the songs in the Book of Songs with Li Li actually is describing a ruin of the ancient capital of the Zhou dynasty. So in this poem, if you are not with so much knowledge, the Li Li actually just depict the surrounding, the scenic. But if you read some of the literature, the Book of Songs, you know Li Li actually associated with something, the history, the ancient time. And in that songs, in the Book of Songs, it's express the feeling of the memorized to the ancient capitals, and also signs on the time. The time changed, but the world is still running, and everything's keep going, like the grass, the capital became a ruin, but the grass still there. And this poem, actually, I think Bai Juyi borrowed this image or idea from that very ancient poem, roughly more than 1,000 years before the poet. 岁一枯荣. So every year the grass will grow green, and then it's gone away. That's the grass life. 野火烧不尽，春风吹又生. And the wildfire always burn these grasses, but it can never burn down the grass. The root's still there, the grass root's still there. So when the spring comes, 春风, the wind of the spring, it refers to the springtime. When the wind of spring blows, the grass come back again and be very prosperous and dance again. So the first 4 sentences is describing the scenarios, and he has a strong feeling of the time changing. And the 5th sentence, 远芳侵古道，晴翠接荒城, is getting to the details. So I'm looking far away. The 远方, the far away, the smiling, the good smiling grass and flowers occupied all the Asian roads. So from here, I still cannot figure out which plateau it refers to. So there's a lot of sayings, but I don't think they can figure out where the place it is today, because the capital city actually has the Asian road to the north, to the east, to the west, and to the south. So it's really hard to tell, even I'm as a people born in the city. But here it also pin back to the 离离原上草, because 离离we have analyzed is borrowed from the Book of Songs, and it's also thinking or remind of the ancient ruined capital of the Zhou dynasty. So 古道 just emphasize again it reminds you of the time changes, even you are just looking at the grass, the very prosperous dense grass right now. 晴翠接荒城, 晴翠 it also refers to the grass, the bright color. 晴 refers to the bright color. 翠 also refers to the color. It's very, very green, dark green. 接荒城, so the grass is meet with the ruined city. So the ruined city also reflect the reflection to the Li Li, the Book of Songs, the poet. So the total image of this poem, or the central feeling or thoughts, is all borrowed from the Book of Songs. That's my opinion. 又送王孙去，萋萋满别情. So all above is describing the sceneries, and the last sentences we go to the people. So he's saying farewell to his friends. 送王孙去, his friends is departing, is leaving. 王孙 in the very beginning only refers to the sons of the noble family, but in the Tang poem it always refers to the friends, good friends. So here we explain it as friends. He's seeing his friends away, saying farewell. 萋萋满别情. 萋萋 is the word like Li Li to describe the grass, the very prosperous, very dense grass, 满别情. So he write a lot about the grass and all the grasses all over the 古原, the plateau on the top, and as dense as all over the grass is their departing feeling or their friendship it is. So the classic poem is, you can explain in all way around. So it just have different reflection in different person's mind. And this poem was explained by the very famous scholar who write the book 300 Tang poems. He said this poem actually is talking about the small guy, which means the small guy is doing the bad things. The small guy in the Mandarin normally refers to the people who is doing bad things in the background, and you even don't know someone is make bad to you. So those guys on the background in the darkness doing the bad things refers to small guys. So that's one of the explanation by a very famous scholar. And the other one said, under the very popular series, this poem is a song for the life, because the most famous sentence in this poem is 野火烧不尽，春风吹又生. The wildfire burn the grass again and again, but it never can burn down the grass. The grass roots still in the earth. And when the wind comes, when the time comes, the life will blossom again. So that's the song for the life. But actually, it's a typical departing poems to see the best friends away. That's my opinion. But it has so many aspects in this poem. So you can see the song for the life, the song for the world, or song for the time changing or the history. Everything changed, and the friendship never changed. One more thing I need to point out, that Wang Sun and Qi Qi actually was borrowed again. The poet borrowed it from the Chu poetry. The original sentence in the Chu poetry is 王孙游兮不归，春草生息萋萋. So try to feel by yourself how the poet borrowed this sentences from the Chu poetry. And also this make a very delicate writing skills, because with the starting two words, the image or the words was borrowed from the Book of Songs, 诗经, one which is the one root of the Chinese literature. And the ending sentences, the poet borrowed the image or the feelings or the words from the poetry of Chu, which is another root of the Chinese literature. The Chinese literature has only two roots. He borrowed every of them and make his own, his own poem, a very famous and great poem. But actually, I'd rather think this poetry is straightforward, simple, and easy, and express the real feelings of the people. First of all, the life, the very strong life of the grass. That's the thing people loved. 野火烧不尽，春风吹又生. This is the most famous sentence in this poem. And not the writing skills. Anyhow, as more the literacy you read and the more feelings you get, I hope I can help you to get more feelings on the simple points of the Tang classic poetry. Okay, thank you. That's for today.